When I was on Wall Street, it was very fast-paced. As a woman, and especially as a Black woman, I was one of very few people in the industry. So I really had this motivation that I wanted to rise up. I survived on coffee. My name's Margaret Nyamumbo. I'm 36 years old and I live in New York City. My coffee company, Kahawa T93, brought in over $3 million last year.
Ooh, first I smell it.
I am like at 3 cups now a day, so I feel like that's the limit before I start getting jittery. Kahawa T93 is a specialty coffee company. We source coffee from women farmers in Africa, and we give back to empower them. Kahawa means coffee in Swahili, which is the language that we speak in Kenya. And 1893 is the year that coffee was first commercially grown in Kenya. So this is the Kenyan flag, and Kenya is the main place that we source our coffee from. I grew up on a coffee farm in Kenya, and what I observed is a majority of the labor came from women, and so I wanted to build a brand that would give back to the women who are doing majority of the work. And so our coffee bags have a QR code on the back that you can scan and tip farmers. Our business is split into 3 major channels. So we have our website, online, Amazon, but the majority of our business is actually in grocery. Part of the business is also in food service, cafes, and offices as well. My parents were not happy when they heard that I had left a well-paying job on Wall Street to start a coffee company, because coffee was not as prestigious of a career at the time. To them, it was almost embarrassing that I was choosing to do coffee. I was working more than when I was in banking, but it didn't feel the same because I was essentially doing many different things and I loved what I was doing. I grew up in Western Kenya in a small town called Kisii. My parents growing up were farmers and traders. Coffee was seen as, a crop that didn't really pay farmers that well. So it was not something that was desirable to be into. In Kenya, we drink tea, we drink chai. We export all our coffee. I remember my first cup was on my flight here. I was going to America. I felt like I had to fit in, so I ordered a cup of coffee, and it was bitter. And then in college, just to stay awake and study, I really got into coffee, and again, at work. It was an acquired taste that I started to love. I was covering consumer packaged goods, and it's during that process that I really got interested in studying a brand, because I learned how different brands had been started, and I realized that brands, even Fortune 500 companies that are household names at one point, had very small, humble beginnings. And so coffee to me was a natural match because I had this experience growing up on the farm. It's been a family business. It started off as a side hustle, but it was really hard to balance out because my job was very demanding. I really couldn't do anything on the side except weekends. Even weekends was kind of pushing it. So I thought I'd take a sabbatical or a leave of about a year to really explore this idea, and if it didn't work out, to go back to my job. So once we roast it, we taste it. It's called the cupping method. Scoop the coffee, and then you spit it. Funny enough, it didn't feel scary. I felt that I had, an amazing resume. I had an MBA, I had good work experience, and so I felt that if I needed to come back into the job market, that I'd be able to do that. I didn't want to regret not ever having tried it. We are a small company still, so I'm involved from choosing which coffees we're gonna roast this week, cupping the coffees, sampling them, all the way to thinking about marketing strategies for that week, talking to investors, customers, checking in with our customer service team, and overall just setting the strategy for the team. So for the packaging, we give it this color, which reflects the vibrant African colors. The bags also have animals, which is a safari theme, which reckons back to this dynamic landscape of the Masai Mara, the safari back in Kenya. So when we first started the brand, I was basically working around the clock. I wake up, I'm thinking about it. I was dropping off packages at the post office. I was roasting. I was doing tastings. At night, I'm sending emails, posting on social. The first year was fully self-funded from my savings and reinvesting any profits that we got. So didn't raise any money or debt for that first year. Then the pandemic hit and that business went away overnight. I was really in a very weird state. I didn't know what was gonna happen next. I used up all my savings, and then I had about $50,000 in credit card debt. I was about to get a part-time job to start to supplement the business as it grew. And then we got a lucky break. We got contacted by Trader Joe's, and they were interested in bringing the coffee brand into their stores as our own brand. So that was the first time I felt like, oh my God, we have something here, and really began to invest in making sure that we could get the product in the store. And so that was the first time that we needed outside investment. So it was very stressful. It was also a very short period of time. And during the pandemic, which is when the supply chain issues just took off. So it was a very unique time to be able to be doing something that big. We were going to be the first Black and woman-owned coffee brand to be in Trader Joe's, and somehow it took off. We started getting calls from other retailers, so like Target, Sprouts. It's like we were dealing with Trader Joe's, but also now suddenly we had to source for other retailers. 3 years later, I've been able to have a salary and I'm out of credit card debt. I actually have zero.
Oh, that's a good coffee.
Yeah. I'm a tea girl, but that's a good cup of coffee.
I'm very, very, very particular about my coffee.
It's been an amazing relationship. It's been life-changing for the business. I think the amount of exposure that we were able to get from the show actually went viral in Kenya. So that was kind of a surreal moment. On our website, we charge from $16 to about $20 for a 12-ounce bag of coffee. In deciding what we charge for a bag of coffee, we kind of think about three things. So first is the price of the unroasted coffee, which we call green coffee. Most of the cost is actually getting the coffee from unroasted to its final destination. And then the cost of roasting the coffee, packaging it, transit, we bake in a little bit of profit. We also look at what are other coffee brands charging. Our goal is to keep growing our distribution, so being able to bring coffee to more households. So we are working towards increasing distribution, and also the more coffee that we're able to distribute, the more farmers that we can bring into our system and the more impact that we can have on the ground. It is a dream job. I wouldn't have predicted it, but it's something that I love doing. I don't know what else I would be doing if I wasn't doing this.